Two people have nine. One person will have 10. Sorry, I said that.
Yeah.
I'm tripping. Now it's like, wait, did I say that right? Yeah. Forgot the zero.
And I'll go last.
Okay.
Wh-
Where would you like to
Whatever's
go?
real.
Okay, awesome. So we'll just do 9, 9, and then Big, you'll have the 10? Or you want the 10 shoot?
I'll take the 10 this time.
Dang, your voice is starting to sound saying, who's saying that?
It was your son.
Ugh!
Okay. Let's do this.
The word of Yahweh which came to Yirmeyahu, the prophet, concerning the nations, for Mitzrayim, concerning the army of Pharaoh Necho, sovereign of Mitzrayim, which was by the river Euphrates in Carchemish, and which Nebuchadrezzar, the sovereign of Babel, had stricken in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, son of Yoshiyahu, sovereign of Yehuda. Prepare the large and the small shield, and draw near to battle. Harness the horses, and mount up, ye horsemen. Stand with helmets, polish the spears, put on the armor. Why do I see them afraid, turn back, and their fighters are beaten down? And they have fled in haste, and did not look back, for fear was all around, declares Yahweh. Do not let swift flee away, nor the mighty man escape. They shall stumble and fall toward the north by the river Euphrates. Who is this rising like a flood, whose waters surge about the like, whose waters surge about like the rivers? Mitzrayim rises like a flood, and its waters surge about like the rivers. And he says, "Let me rise and cover the earth. Let me destroy the city and its inhabitants. Go up, all horses, and rage, O chariots, and let the mighty men go forth. Cush and Put, who handle the shield, and Lud, who handle and bend the bow. For this is the day of the Master Yahweh of hosts, a day of vengeance, to revenge himself on his adversaries. And a sword shall devour, and be satisfied, and made drunk with their blood. For the Master, for the Master Yahweh of hosts has the slaughtering in the land of the north by the river Euphrates.
Go up to Gilead and take balm, O maiden, the daughter of Mizraim. In vain you have used many remedies. There is no healing for you. Nations have heard of your shame, and your cry has filled the land. For the mighty has stumbled against the mighty. They have both fallen together. The word of Yahweh spoke to Yirmeyahu, the prophet, and about the coming of Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, to strike the land of Mizraim. Declare in Mizraim, and let it be heard in Midgo, Middle, and let it be heard in Noph and Taphaneses. Say, stand fast and be prepared, for a sword shall devour all around you. Why were your strong ones swept away? They did not stand because Yahweh drove them away. He made many stumble. Indeed, they fell over each other and said, "Arise, let us go back to our own people and to the land of our birth, away from the pressing sword." There they cried, "Pharaoh, sovereign of Mizraim," but it's a noise, has let the appointed time pass by. As I live, declared the sovereign, whose name is Yahweh host. For as Tabor is among the mountains, and Carmel by the sea, he shall come. O you, O you daughter, dwelling in Mizraim, prepare yourself to go into exile. For Noph shall become a waste and a ruin, and be buried without and be burned without inhabitant.
Mizraim is like a very pretty heifer, but destruction comes. It comes from the north. Her hired ones too. In her midst are like fattened calves, for they too shall turn. They shall flee away together. They shall not stand, for the day of their calamity has come upon them, the time of their punishment. Its sound moves along like a serpent, for they move on like an army and come against her with axes, like woodcutters. They shall cut down her forests, declares Yahweh, for it is not searched, because they are more numerous than locusts, and without number. The daughter of Mizraim shall be put to shame, and shall be given into the hand of the people of the north. Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, has said, See, I am bringing punishment on Ammon of No, and on Pharaoh, and on Mizraim, and on their mighty ones, and on their sovereigns, and on Pharaoh, and on those trusting in him. And I shall give them into the hand of those who seek their lives, into the hand of Nebuchadrezzar, sovereign of Babel, and into the hand of his servants, and afterward it shall be inhabited as in the days of old, declares Yahweh. But as for you, do not fear, O my servant Jacob, and do not be discouraged, O Israel, for look, I am saving you from afar, and your descendants from the land of their captivity, and Jacob shall return, and shall have rest, and be at ease, with no one disturbing. Do not fear, O Jacob, my servant declares Yahweh, for I am with you, though I make a complete end of all the nations to which I have driven you, yet I do not make a complete end of you. But I shall reprove you in right ruling, and by no means leave you unpunished.
Just a quick heads up, Dave. Your mic was doing that robotic metallic laggy thingy.
So I gotta reset it.
Yeah, 'cause I
Oh yeah, one of the things, guys, too, because that one, not only soaking in is pretty much, we know what time it is. It's coming, facing the end of destruction. You see those little parentheses that you just read in the 28th, in Yirmeyahu, the 46th chapter, verse 28. I started to look up those, right, and see how they connect, and it's almost like a Easter egg in a puzzle. Like they connect to certain other parts of Scripture. Super dope. Super dope. Big.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Is it still robotic?
not right now.
Yeah, not
It's
right now.
good.
Uh, well, the yeah, I'm gonna piggyback of what Bartley said, but verse 28 when he said, "But I shall reprove you in right ruling, and by no means leave you unpunished." He's saying that I'm gonna save you, but you still gotta get disciplined.
Oh, you gonna get that work?
So as always, he loves his people, but he can't let them go free. I mean, he let them go free, but like, you can't leave them to go unpunished, undisciplined. Gotta know what you're doing is wrong.
You gonna get that work? Shoot.
I'm sucking that one in.
All right. Sliding right on to the next. Oh,
Dying.
dang it, for real. All right, so everybody would get two, one person would get three.
Yep.
Take it away, little killer, please.
Yeah.
The word of Yahweh that came to Yirmeyahu the prophet concerning the Philistines before Pharaoh struck Azza, Thus said Yahweh, see, waters are rising out of the north, and shall be an overflowing flood, and they shall overflow the land and all that is in it, the city, and those who dwell within, and men shall cry, and all the inhabitants of the land shall wail.
At the noise of the stamping hoofs of his strong horses and the rushing of his chariot, at the rumbling of his wheels, the fathers shall not look to their children because of weakness of hand, because of the day that shall come to ravage all the Philistines, to cut off from Tor and Sidon every helper that survives. For Yahweh is ravishing through the Philistine the remnant of the idol of Caphtor. Caphtor.
Baldness shall come upon Azah. Ashkelon shall be cut off with the remnant of their valley. Till when would you cut yourself? O you sword of Yahweh, how long till you rest? Put yourself up into your sheath, rest and be still. How shall it rest when Yahweh has given it a command against Ashkelon and against the seashore? There he has appointed it.
I'm gonna jump right in and say, like, there's some names here I'm gonna study later. I'm gonna start doing a genealogy, but soaking that one in, this is still like, oh, you guys want to run off and think you could run away from punishment? These people gonna get it too. Like, don't you run from this beating? You might as well take this beating like a man. You guys did the action. Might as well get the action. Big.
I'm soaking that one in.
20 minutes or less. Shoot.
Finally get my turn to talk. Almost took no one in.
Die.
All right, slide it on to the next. Okay, we got more meat on this one. Definitely got more meat on this. Big numbers here. Okay, let me do these. So two people have 16, one person will have 15.
So,
Yeah.
can't do
Professional.
this math thing, sir.
Hey,
Using
I use all
calculator.
my fingers. All my fingers this time. Let me tell you.
Using calculator like Bree did.
Nah. Oh, yes, she should. She is. I got you. Yo, Big, we was like, okay, man, let's give you this tough problem. Let's see if you get like your brother. She said, Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. I got something. So I was like, that's awesome, dear. How'd you get it? She was like, I just used my calculator. It's like, really? That was funny. He's like, I'm not even gonna try. Oh, that was hilarious. Uh, God, you made me forget the math. Golly.
It was 15, 16, 16.
Got it. Okay.
Concerning Moab, this is what Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, said: Woe to Nebo, for it is ravaged. Kiryathaim is to put shame, captured. The high stronghold is put to shame and broken down. There is praise for Moab no longer. In Heshbon they have devised evil against her. Come and let us cut it off as a nation. O madmen, you are also cut off. A sword goes after you. Listen, an outcry from Horonaim, ravaging and great destruction. Moab shall be destroyed. Her little ones shall cry out. For on the ascent to Lahith, Lahith, they go up weeping bitterly. For the descent of Horonaim, the enemies shall hear a cry of destruction. Flee, deliver your own lives, and be like a bush in the wilderness. For because you are trusted in your works and your treasuries, you shall be captured. And Chemosh shall go forth into exile, his priests and his heads together. And the ravager shall come into every city, no one escapes. And the valley shall perish, and the plain be destroyed, as Yahweh has spoken. Give wings to Moab, for she has to flee away, and her cities become a ruin, no one to dwell in them. Cursed is he who is slack in doing the work of Yahweh, and cursed is he who is holds his sword from blood. Moab has been at ease from his youth, and he has settled on his dregs. Excuse me. And has not been emptied from vessel to vessel, nor has he gone into exile. Therefore his flavor has stayed in him, and his fragrance is unchanged. Therefore, see, the days are coming, declares Yahweh, when I shall send him tilters, who shall tilt him over and his empty vessels and break the bottles. Oh, and empty his vessels and break the bottles. And Moab shall be ashamed because Chemosh, as the house of Israel, was ashamed of Bethel, their refuge. How do you say, we are mighty and strong men for battle? Moab is ravaged, and her cities have been entered, and her chosen young men have gone down to the slaughter, declares Sovereign, whose name is Yahweh of hosts.
The calamity of Moab is near to come, and his affliction hurries fast. Lament for him, all you who are around him, all you who knows his name. Say, how strong is scepter, scepter has been broken, the staff of splendor. Come down for your steam and sit and thirst, O inhabitant, daughter of Dibon. When the ravager of Moab shall come against you, he shall destroy your strongholds. Stand by the way and watch, O inhabitant of Aror, and ask him who flees and her who escapes, says, what has been done? Moab has been put to shame, for it has been broken down. Howl and cry, let it be heard in Arnon, that Moab is ravaged, and judgment has come on the plain country, on Holon, and on Yastas, on Mophat, and on Dibon and Nebo, on Beth Diblatam, and on Quiatham, and on Beth Gamul, and on Beth Meon, and on Kiroth, and on Batrah, and on the cities of the land of Moab, far or near. The horn of Moab has been cut off, and his arm has been broken, declared Yahweh. Make him drunk, because he has made himself great against Yahweh. Moab shall splash in his vomit, and he shall also be in mockery. And was not Israel a mockery to you? Was he found amongst thieves? Whatever you speak of him, you shake your head. O inhabitants of Moab, leave the city and dwell in the rocks, and be like the dove making a nest in the side of the cave's mouth. For we have heard of the pride of Moab. He's very proud of his loftiness and his arrogance and pride and of the haughtiness of his heart. I know his wrath, declares Yahweh, and his boasting are untrue, and his deeds are false. Therefore I wail for Moab, and cry out for all Moab. I mourn for the men of Queer Heres. O vines of Simla, I weep for you with the weeping of Yazer. Your branches have passed over the seas. They have come into the seas of Yazer. The Ravager has fallen on your summer fruit and on your grape harvest.
Joy and gladness have been taken away from the orchard and from the land of Moab, and I have made wine to cease from the wine presses. No one treads with shouting. The shouting is no shouting. From the outcry of Heshbon unto Elale, unto Yahatz, they shall raise their voice from Soar to Horonaim, like a 3-year-old heifer. For even the waters of Nimrim are dried up. And I shall make an end in Moab to him who offers in the high places and burns incense to his mighty ones, declare Yahweh. So my heart sounds for Moab like flutes, and my heart sounds for the men of Kirheres like flutes. Therefore the wealth they made shall be gone. For every head is bald, and every beard clipped, cuts on all the hands, and sackcloth on the loins, and on all the house tops of Moab, and in its streets, it is all lamentation. For I have broken Moab like a vessel, in which no one delights, declares Yahweh. How has she been broken down? They shall wail. How has Moab turned her back with shame? So Moab shall be a mockery and a horror to all those about her. For thus said Yahweh, see, he soars like an eagle, and shall spread his wings over Moab. Kerioth shall be captured, and the stronghold seized, in the hearts of the mighty men in Moab. On that day shall be like the heart of a woman in labor, and Moab shall be destroyed as a people, because he has made himself great against Yahweh. Fear and the pit and the snare are upon you, O inhabitant of Moab, declares Yahweh. He who flees from the fear falls into the pit, and he who gets out of the pit is caught in the snare. For I am bringing upon Moab the year of their punishment, declares Yahweh. Those who fled stood powerless under the shadows of Heshbon. But a fire shall come out of Heshbon, and a flame from the midst of Sihon, and consume the brow of Moab, and the crown of the head of the sons of uproar. Woe to you, O Moab! The people of Chemosh have perished, for your sons have been taken into exile, and your daughters into exile. But I shall turn back the captivity of Moab in the latter days, declares Yahweh. Thus far is the judgment of Moab.
Mm. Moab, you got done did it now, didn't you?
Sheesh.
Yes. And gentlemen, it's crazy
You
because
deserve nothing.
Damn.
You
right.
lose. Good day, sir.
Good. That's like when you understand the might of what Nebuchadnezzar did. Like I don't know if you guys ever see the 300 and they talk about the Persian Empire. These was already empires. All you had to do was take out the top. Like Nebuchadnezzar came and crushed all of them. They were all their own little individual kingdoms and tribes and fiefdoms. He came in and just like, okay, and now it's almost like you're in a history, a time capsule, and you're seeing like, guys, it's about to hit. Like this guy's prophesizing, like this is coming, right? That's like somebody saying, hey, there's gonna be a fall of the US. And you're like, ah, whatever. The United States will never fall. You're tripping. What are you talking about? We're the mightiest country in the world. Like, guys, it's gonna fall. So says Yahweh. Who is it? Whatever. Come on. Just and it to happen. Like we're looking at the aftermath, but this is people getting that. Almost like he's writing the heads up. Okay, guys, it's gonna happen. So like now I have a whole newfound respect for scripture Cause I was like, yeah, it's kind of like but spiritual. But now I'm like, whoa, this is what happens in real life. Like, okay, yeah, there's a spirit realm and all this, but like, look, guys, I'm about to kick your front teeth in real life, right? Like, you about to get it, and it's crazy because it's like, you could see this part was like, hey, Moab was like, hey, we ain't gonna get that beat. It's like, and it's it in Yirmeyahu 48th chapter, the first verse. It says, concerning you, Moab, like concerning Moab, like, oh, us? Yes, you. All right, so like, yeah, yeah, and it's crazy because like if you look at Moab now, it's probably like part India, part China. What it would be. So even the people that's probably was there is not the now is not the people of the time before. So, all praises to the Most High. Big.
Yahweh is always honest.
He just gave me a new nickname for
Just
today's
gotta
game.
listen to him.
A Ravager. God, I thought Rob. What was it? Revenger bloody. It's Ravager. Goodness. Always right. You right, Big. Shoot.
I think I gave my piece already.
Done.
Goodness. On to the next one. Oh wow, he's got another beating. Somebody else about to get beat. Goodness. Lord.
Sheesh.
There's another beating coming on y'all. This is wait. That's 12. So it's 13 apiece. Capiche?
Yep.
Take it away, little Kalapoo.
Concerning the Ammonites, thus said Yahweh, has Israel no sons? Has he no heir? Why has Malcolm taken possession of Gad and his people dwell in its cities?
Mm,
Therefore, see, the days are coming, declares Yahweh, when I shall sound a battle cry in Rabbah of the Ammonites, and it shall be a heap of wasteland, and villages shall be burned with fire, and Israel shall dispossess those who dispossessed him, declared Yahweh, declares Yahweh. How, O Heshbon, for I is ravaged. Cry, daughters of Rabbah, gird on sackcloth. Lament and diligently search by the walls, for Malcolm shall go into exile. For Malcolm shall go into exile with his priests and his heads. Why do you boast in the valleys, your flowing valley, O backsliding daughter who's trusting in her treasures, saying, who would come against me? See, I am bringing fear upon you from all those around you, declares the Master of Yahweh, the Master Yahweh of hosts. And you shall be driven out, each one straight ahead, with no one to bring home the wanderer. And after this, I turn back the captivity of the children of Ammon, declares Yahweh. Concerning Edom, thus said Yahweh of hosts, is there no more wisdom in Teman? Has counsel been lost to those with understanding? Has their wisdom vanished? Flee, turn back, dwell in the depths, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I shall bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I shall punish him. If grape gatherers come to you, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? Even thieves by the night would destroy only until they had enough. But as for me, I shall make Esau bare. I shall uncover his hiding places, so that he is unable to. Whoops, dropped the phone. So that he is unable to conceal himself. His seed is ravaged, his brothers and his neighbors, and he is no more. Leave your fatherless children. Let me keep them alive, and let your widows trust in me. For thus said Yahweh, see those whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have certainly drunk. And are you the one who go? Are you the one to go unpunished? You shall not go unpunished, but certainly drink of it. For I have sworn by myself, declares Yahweh, that Batra is to become a ruin, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all its cities become everlasting wastes.
I have heard a report from Yahweh, and an envoy has been sent to nations. Gather together and come against her, and rise up to battle. For look, I shall make you small amongst the nations, despised upon men. The dread for you, the pride of your heart has deceived you. O you who, O you who dwell in the clefts of the rock, holding the heights of the hill, thought you make your nest as high as the eagle. From there I bring you down, declares the Master, and Edom shall be a ruin. Everyone who passed by it is astonished and whistles at all its plagues, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Amorah and their neighboring cities, declare Yahweh. No one shall dwell there, nor will a son of man sojourn in it. See, he comes up like a lion from the Yarden jungle against the home of the strong. But in an instant I shall make him run away from her. And who is the chosen one to appoint over her? For who is like me, and who summons me, and who is that shepherd who stands before me? Therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh, for he has counsel concerning Edom, and he has purpose concerning the inhabitants of Teman. The least of the flock shall drag them away, and he shall make their pastures waste before them. The earth shall be shaken at the noise of their fall. There is an outcry. It's the noise it hears at the sea of reeds. See, like an eagle he flies up, and spread his wings over Basra, and the heart of the mighty men of Edom in the day shall be like the heart of a woman in her pain, concerning Damascus. Hamath and Arpad have been put to shame, for they have heard an evil report. They have been melted in anxiety, like the sea unable to rest. And Damascus has become feeble, and she turned to flee, and trembling has taken hold of her. Stress and pain have seized her like a woman in labor. How is the city of praise deserted, the city of my joy? Therefore, her young men fall in her streets, and all the men of battle are cut off in that day, declares Yahweh of hosts.
And I shall kindle a fire in the wall of Damascus, and it shall consume the palaces of Benhadad to Kedar, and to the reigns of Hatzor, which Nebuchadrezzar, sovereign of Babel, struck. Thus said Yahweh, Arise, go up to Kedar, and ravage the men of the east. Their tents and their flocks, their curtains and all their vessels shall be taken, and they shall take away their camels for themselves, and they shall cry out to them. Fear is on every side. Flee, go away, dwell in the depths, O inhabitants of Hatzor, declares Yahweh. For Nebuchadrezzar, sovereign of Babel, has taken counsel against you, and has devised a plan against you. Arise, go up to the nation at ease, and that dwells safely, declares Yahweh. It has no gates, no bars, they dwell alone, and their camels shall become plunder, and their large herds booty, and I shall scatter them to all winds. Those who cut off the corner and bring their calamity from all its sides, declare Yahweh. Hatzor shall be a habitation for jackals, a desert forever. No one dwells there, nor does Son of Man sojourn in it. The word of Yahweh that came to Yirmeyahu the prophet concerning Elam, in the beginning of the reign of Sidkiah, the sovereign of Yehuda, saying, Thus said Yahweh of hosts, See, I am breaking the bow of Elam, the sheaf of their might, and I shall bring upon Elam the four winds from the four quarters of the heavens, and scatter them toward all those winds, and there shall be no nation where the outcasts of Elam do not go. And I shall break Elam before their enemies, and before those who seek their life, and I shall bring evil upon them, my burning displeasure, declares Yahweh. And I shall send the sword after them until I have consumed them. And I shall set my throne in Elam, and destroy from there the sovereign and their heads, declares Yahweh. And it shall be in the latter days that I turn back the captivity of Elam, declares Yahweh.
Good.
Sheesh.
Pure fire. Everybody's gonna get everybody gonna get that work.
They
I,
made him
it, it
truly mad.
it's it's like the only way you can understand it, right? Like somebody described the relationship that Christians have with Jesus is an abusive relationship, and it was so dope. The way he put that. It's like you could drink, you could smoke, I mean, you could do all these things, and oh yeah, Jesus gonna take me back. You can disrespect, you can do whatever you want. Oh man, all I gotta do is go to church. Like, there's nothing you need to. There's no. You don't need to act and comport yourself in that relationship. No way. It's just gonna be love and acceptance. And I'm like, this is where they got us misconstrued. This is where they fooled us. This is why some of us are cursed the way we're cursed, right? Because that's not the way the Most High work. I don't know what this Jesus character you talk, but
That's
that's
like,
not.
oh my bad.
Okay? No, come on, jump on in.
That's like when couples say, oh nah, this is 50-50. And if somebody goes under 50, then I ain't doing it. When a relationship is supposed to be 100%.
Ooh, well, dope, dope analogy there. Dope analogy there. So everybody's gonna get it. It's like nobody that was rocking, nobody that was eating from them, nobody that was taking this, nobody that was bringing this to them. Like, yeah, let me tell you about the Buddha. Nobody, all that stuff. Nobody, y'all all gonna get this work because guess what y'all did? Y'all took my chosen one and y'all corrupted him with y'all BS made of wood and stone. Y'all did that. Don't act like I didn't see you guys teaching them this. Don't act like they didn't come to you and you could have been like, nah, stay with what your parents taught you. Stay with your father taught you. Don't come over here. Nah, nah, nah. Don't learn our way. Nope. You guys chose to do otherwise. Hmm. He give everybody work. God, it's like, oh, you think you safe? Everybody work. That's crazy. Everybody's getting that one. Whew, shoot. Mm, 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 mm.
Second that one.
This way. Whew.
It's like people
Like,
read the commandments and be like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Like it tells you that Yahweh is a jealous God.
and to be fair, too, big, it's like, all right, for instance, if you watching over Pooh, like, let's say Bree, like, Bree's gonna get too old for this, but let's say I have a kid and you guys are watching over the kid. Yeah, that kid is gonna get in trouble, but you're gonna get in super trouble. Like, you know better. You
Fact.
know better. Right? So, like, your shepherd, your leaders, the people I put and pointed to be in charge of you is doing, okay, yeah, you should be like, I'm not gonna do it. got it. As the kid or as the young, the follower as a sheep, got it. But each of us gonna have that responsibility. So yeah, Big may be in leader of the house, right? But I'm not gonna do what he gonna do. I'm not rocking with. Hey, it was him. Look, I'm gonna get my beatings. Being a part, like that sheep could have been like, nah, man, I'm not doing. I will fight you. But the sheep was scared, or for whatever reason, he capitulate. Look at the election. You guys gotta choose between two evils. Some people like, okay, I'll choose. I'm like, no, I'll choose Most High. I'm not even. Don't even put my name in every year, every 4 that I hope that I was a part of. This nation that said no, nope. I'm not gonna get my punishment. Like I'm gonna get mine. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna get for that for y'all. No sir. No sir. So even if we just sheep in it, we still got a right and a conscience. And we see like what he does to. This is what he's doing to a nation. You know what I'm saying? And so the sovereign's got to take that out. So we all are individual nation. We come together. We make a choice to read. We're gonna get the blessings for the week. But let us break these. Let us start breaking these things. If we don't read, all right, we won't get in too much trouble. We won't get in no trouble. But let's say like, you know what, man, bump this Sabbath thing, man. I'ma go get me a job. Yo, after we know, we gonna get ours. But let's say one of us is telling the other, like, man, come on, you don't need to do that Sabbath thing. There's money over here, bruh. Can make mad dough over here. You don't think that person that's telling us is gonna get double time, triple times? Okay, play with it if you want to. How they say, F around and find out. He is letting. This is crazy. He is letting. That way. These mind you guys, this is still prophets. This is still like somebody telling you how you're gonna fall. This is not even they didn't even fall yet. This is somebody telling like this is a brave shepherd. Like, okay, guys, this is a prophet. This is how you gonna fall. This how you gonna fall. This what you gonna get. And they looking at him probably like he can't be serious, is he? You don't know what kind of affairs going on through their mind right now. Like whatever mockery, like whatever. Man, I really believe in Yahweh. Well, get the Jesus piece. Okay, y'all gonna get it. All right, on to the next. We got like wait, this one. What was this one again?
Yeah,
That was 13.
46.
You said it's 46. Oh, yeah, sorry.
So 46.
That was 13. Okay, sorry. Genesis 14. 15. So two people would have 15, one person would have 16.
So
Okay, on the road here, guys. On the road. Take it
I'll take
away, little
16.
book. Yes, sir. You earned it, sir.
The word that Yahweh spoke concerning Babel, concerning the land of the Casdim by Yirmeyahu the prophet. Declare among the nations, and let it be heard, and lift up a banner. Let it be heard, and do not conceal it. Say, do not conceal it. Say, Babel shall be taken, Bel shall be put to shame, Merodach shall be broken, her images shall be put to shame, her idols shall be broken. For a nation shall come up against her from the north, which shall make her land waste, and none shall dwell in it. They shall flee. They shall go, both man and beast, in those days and at that time, declares Yahweh. The children of Israel shall come, and they and the children of Yehuda together, weeping as they come, and seek Yahweh their Elohim. They shall ask the way of Sion, their faces toward it. Come and let us join ourselves to Yahweh, and in an everlasting covenant, never to be forgotten. My people have been wandering sheep. Their shepherds have led astray, turning them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. All who found them devoured them, and their adversaries have said, we are not guilty. They have sinned against the home of righteousness and the expectation of their fathers, Yahweh. Flee from the midst of battle. Come out of the land of the cast in, and be as rams before a flock. For look, I am stirring up and bringing up a battle assembly of great nations, land of, and they shall array themselves against her. There she shall be captured. Their arrows are like those of a mighty skilled man, not returning empty handed. And Chaldea shall become plunder. All who plunder her shall satisfy their Yahweh, declares Yahweh. Because you were glad, because you rejoice, you who plunder my inheritance, because you have grown fat, for threshing grain, and you neigh like stallions. Your mother shall be greatly ashamed. She who bore you shall look the last of the nations, wilderness, a dry land and a desert. Because of the wrath of Yahweh, she shall not inhabit it, and she shall be deserted, all of it. Everyone passing by Babel shall be astonished and whistle at all her. Set yourselves in array against Babel all around. All you who bend the bow, shoot, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against Yahweh. Shout against her all around. She has given her hand, her foundations, her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of Yahweh. Take her vengeance on her. Take vengeance on her. As she has done, so do to her. Cut off the sour from Babel, and him who handles the sickle at harvest from before the sword of the oppressor. Each one turns to his own, each one pleased. Take it away, gentlemen.
I'm sorry, I was trying to get my speaker up. Forgive me. My speaker died and I can't hear you guys.
Uh,
I'm on 17, correct?
yep.
Forgive me once again, both to y'all and to the Most High mostly. Israel is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away. First the sovereigns of Ashur devoured him, and now, at last, this Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, has broken his bones. Therefore thus says Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, see, I am punishing the sovereign of Babel and his land, as I have punished the sovereign of Ashur. I shall bring back Israel to his pasture, and he shall flee on Carmel and Banshan, and begin, and his being shall be satisfied on Mount Ephraim and Gilad. In those days and at that time, declares Yahweh, the crookedness of Israel shall be searched for, but there shall be none, and the sins of Yehuda, but none shall be found. For I shall pardon those who I leave as a remnant. Go up against the land of Merathim, against it, and against the inhabitants of Pequod, and slay and put them under the bond, declares Yahweh, and do according to all that I have commanded you. There is a sound of battle in the land, and of the great destruction. How the hammer of all the earth has been cut off and broken. How Babel has become a ruin amongst nations. Have I laid a snare on you, and you were captured, O Babel? You and yourself did not know. You have been found and also caught, because you stove against Yahweh. And Yahweh has opened his armory and brought out the weapon of his displeasure. For the master Elohim of hosts a work to do in the land of Kasdim. Come against her for every quarter, open up her storehouse, pile her up as heaps of ruin, and put her under the ban, and let her have no remnant. Slay all her bulls, let them go down to the slaughter. Woe to them, for their day has come, the time of their punishment. Listen, they flee and escape from the land of Babel to declare to Sion the vengeance of Yahweh our Elohim, the vengeance of his Hiakal. Summon the archers against Babel, all you who bend the bow, and around, camp against it all around. Let no one escape. Repay her according to her work. Do to her according to all she has done. For she has been proud against Yahweh, against the set apart ones of Israel. Therefore, her young men shall fall in the streets, and her men of battle shall perish in that day, declares Yahweh. See, I am against you, O proud one, declares the Master of hosts. For your day has come, the time for your punishment. And the proud one shall stumble, and he shall fall with no one to raise him up. And I shall kindle a fire in the city, and it shall devour all around them. Thus say Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel were oppressed, along with the children of Yehuda. And all who took them captive has held them fast, and they refused to let them go. Their Redeemer is strong, Yahweh of hosts, his name. He shall strongly plead their case, so as to give rest to the land, but unrest to the inhabitants of Babel. A sword is upon the Casdim, declares Yahweh, and it's upon the inhabitants of Babel, and upon her heads, and upon her wise men. A sword upon the liars, they shall be fools. A sword is upon her mighty men, they shall be broken down. A sword is upon their horses, and upon their chariots, upon all the mixed people who are in her midst. They shall become like women, and a sword is upon her treasures, and shall be plundered. A sword is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up. For the land is carved, for the land is a land of for it's a land of carved images, and they boast about their idols. Therefore, the wild desert beasts shall dwell in the jackals, and the ostriches dwell in it, and that shall never again be inhabited, nor dwelled in, unto all generations.
As Elohim overthrew Sodom and Amorah and their neighboring cities, declares Yahweh, so no one would dwell there, nor would Son of Man sojourn it. And see, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many sovereigns stirred up from the ends of the earth. They strengthen their bow and spear. They are cruel, and they show no compassion. They sound like the roaring sea, and ride on horses, set in array, like a man of battle against you. O daughter of Babel, the sovereign of Babel has heard the report about them, and his hands became weak. Distress has taken hold of him, pain like that of a woman in labor. See, he has come up like a lion from the Yarden jungle against the enduring pasture, but in an instant I shall make them run away from her. And who is the chosen one whom I shall appoint against her? For who is like me? Who summons me? And who is that shepherd who stands before me? Therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh, which he has counseled concerning Babel, and his purposes he has purposed concerning the land of the Casdim. The least of the flock shall drag them away. He shall make their pasture a waste before them. At the sound of Babel's capture, the earth shall be shaken, and the outcry shall be heard among nations.
Excuse me, John Enough. You know you're supposed to read 15, right?
Yeah.
I was trying to let him come in. He's like, just let me go. He was just like, go ahead. I was like, okay, I do what I want
Man,
to.
I didn't want to cut you off.
I was like, you gonna say something? I was like, you ain't gonna say something. I'm straight.
You really were in the flow there, sir. You read 23 instead of
Boy,
15.
Yeah, I didn't
boy,
want
you
to
ain't gonna rap.
interrupt you.
You ain't gonna give me no real rap.
You was in the flow.
I'm like, you ain't gonna give me the real rap. I was like, I kept pausing, like, Big, you wanna jump in? I get another one. He said, you ain't gonna say nothing? Fine, I got it. He said, oh, you don't wanna get this work? Okay, I'll take it.
I mean, as soon as I was about to say something, you just said the sword. I was like, oh dang.
He said, she said, take it away, King Rich. You don't wanna take it away. She said,
Nah,
what is wrong with my mic? What's wrong with my speaker? This is weird. Wait, this Discord, we can only hear from the headset, Big? Is that
No,
is that what voice overlay means?
no.
no, voice overlay is just you can see who's talking.
Yeah.
This is the weirdest thing. Okay. I was hearing you guys until I couldn't hear you on my speaker no more.
I mean, something's up with your speaker.
That's definitely what that means.
But yeah, that
Big,
is
take it
a lot to soak in right now.
a lot to soak in, but it's another thing. Like while we're soaking that in real quick, right? It's like pay attention. Like this is like he told Babel they're gonna get theirs too. Like they're it's like you're coming in as a conquering lion. You didn't even come in yet. You're hearing all of this about the Babel. You even hear how Babel gonna get their punishment and how they're gonna fall. Yirmeyahu was definitely ahead of his time, and I really mean that. The Most High was giving him sight beyond sight. Bump Lionel. Goodness.
Facts.
Goodness. He's seeing it all. Like, wow. I think the only other person I know that sort of, I mean, well, Yahshua did, but like the start, the end, and the finish, yeah, he's seeing it all.
Yeah, that's like you joining a game late and your team is losing, getting doo-dooed on, and he's just there. He's like, damn. And my ancestors, I have to take on like the punishment for them too.
But you know what I love about the Most High in this? He's always saying like they're gonna be okay. I'm gonna make sure they're okay. But you guys that brought all this idol worship, all this thing to my people, oh y'all gonna get it. Y'all gonna get it good. All right, guys. We have two more. Y'all want to
Yeah,
push
I was
through?
saying. That's a finish them.
Might as
You got a
well.
really hefty, you got a really hefty reach for 51.
Oh yeah, 51 is definitely going. Yeah, he's definitely giving that work. And 50, yeah, he's giving them that work. He's he's
Hee!
giving them that work. Oh, they about to get it. Why is my speaker not when the
Dang, he
speaker
was
ring? This is
practicing
weird.
for this.
Definitely was, sir. That was auditioning. Audition. It was my close up. What is
That was
going on?
21, 21, 22.
Who wants the 22?
I'll take it.
You couldn't read that much last one.
Dang, my own son. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. This is crazy. Okay, I'm giving up speaker. I don't know what's going on. I cannot hear you guys in the house.
You probably have to either check. Have you checked your speakers?
I'm I don't know if this disconnect is private for just the mic. I that doesn't make sense.
'Cause it could
Like
be something with your Xbox settings.
um okay. All right. I'm not gonna mess with it then. I'm gonna leave it alone. I don't know what's going on. Like I'm the only thing that's gonna be crazy, I have a feeling like it's gonna sound like there's a real war in this house. I'm gonna leave it alone. Bump it. Not gonna stress it. All right. So what was the numbers again, Big? 21, 21.
22.
All right.
Thus said Yahweh, see, I am stirring up the spirit of a destroyer against Babel, against those who dwell on Leb, my opponents. And I shall send winnowers to Babel, who shall winnow her and empty her land. For they shall be against her all around, and in the day of evil. Let the archer draw his bow, and let him stand ready in his armor. Do not spare her, young men. Put all her army under the ban, and the slain shall fall in the land of the Casdim, and the pierce through through in her streets. For neither Israel nor Yehuda is widowed by his Elohim. Yahweh of hosts, though their land has been filled with sin against the set apart one of Israel. Leave from the midst of Babel, and let each one save his life. Do not be cut off in a crookedness. For this is the time of the vengeance of Yahweh, the recompense he is repaying her. Babel was a golden cup in the hand of Yahweh, making drunk all the earth. The nations drank her wine. That is why the nations went mad. Babel shall suddenly fall and be broken. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so, if so be she might be healed. We would have healed Babel, but she is not healed. Let us leave her, and each go to his own land. For her judgment reaches to the heavens, and is lifted up to the clouds. Yahweh has brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us relate in Sion work of Yahweh our Elohim. Polish the arrows, put on the shields. Yahweh has stirred up the spirit of the sovereigns of Medes for his plan against Babel to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of Yahweh, the vengeance for his echo. Lift up a banner on the walls of Babel, strengthen the watch, station the watchman, prepare the ambush. For Yahweh has both planned and done what he spoke concerning the inhabitants of Babel. You who dwell upon many waters, great in treasures, your end has come, the measure of your booty gain. Yahweh of hosts has sworn by himself, I shall certainly fill you with men as with locusts, and they shall lift up a shot against you. He made the earth by his power. He established the world by his wisdom, and stretched out the heavens by his understanding. And he gives forth his voice, the waters and the heavens roar. And he makes vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He makes lightnings for the rain, and he brings the wind out of his treasuries. All mankind has become too brutish to know. Every smith has been put to shame by the carved image, for his molded image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. They are worthless, a work of mockery. In the time of their punishment, they perish. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the maker of all, and Israel is the tribe of his inheritance. Yahweh of hosts is his name. You are my battle axe, weapons of battle, and with you I shall break nations in pieces, and with you I shall destroy reigns, and with you I shall break in the piece the horse and its rider, and with you I shall break in pieces the chariot and its rider.
And with
Take
you I shall
away them.
and with you I shall break in pieces man and woman. And with you I shall break in pieces old and young. And with you I shall break in pieces the young man and the maiden. And with you I shall break pieces the shepherd and his flock. And with you I shall break into pieces the farmer and his yokes of oxen. And with you I shall break in pieces governors and rulers. And I shall repay Babel and all inhabitants of Chaldea for all the evil they have done in Sion before your eyes, declare Yahweh. See, I'm against you, O destroying mountain, who destroys all the earth, declares Yahweh. And I shall stretch out my hand against you, and I shall roll you down from the rocks and make you a burned mountain. And then you shall not take from a stone for a corner or a stone for a foundation, but you shall be a waste forever, declares Yahweh. Lift up a banner in the land and blow a shofar amongst the nation. Prepare the nations against her. Call the reigns together against her. Arat, Minim, and Askenaz. Appoint commanders against her and bring up horses like hairy locusts. Separate the nations against her with the sovereigns of the Medes and the governors and all his rulers and all the land of his rulers, so that the land shall shake in wrath and pain. For every plan of Yahweh shall be established against Babel, to make the land of Babel a ruin without inhabitant. The mighty men of Babel have ceased to fire. They remain in their strongholds. Their might has failed. They became like women. They have burned their dwelling places. The bars of her gates have been broken. One runner runs to meet another. One reporter meets another to report the sovereign of Babel that his cities is taken on all sides, and the fords have been captured, and they have burnt the reeds with fire, and the soldiers are startled. For thus says Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, the daughters of Babel is like a threshing floor at the time it is trodden. Yet a little while at the time of her harvest shall come. Nebuchadrezzar, the sovereign of Babel, has devoured us. He has crushed us. He has made us an empty vessels, and he has swallowed us like a monster. He has filled his stomach with my delicacies, and he has driven us away. Let the violence done to me and my flesh should be upon Babel. Thus says the inhabitants of Sion. And let my blood be upon the inhabitants of Chaldea, says Jerusalem. Therefore, thus says Yahweh, see, I am pleading your case, and I shall take vengeance for you and dry up her seas and make her fountain dry. I still got more?
Yeah, you read to 42.
Yes, sir. And Babel shall become a heap, a habitation of jackals, astonishment of hissing. Together they roar like lions, they shall growl like lion cubs. In their heart I prepare their feast, and I shall make them drunk so that they rejoice, and a sheep and sleep a never ending sleep, and not awaken, declares Yahweh. I shall bring them down like lambs unto slaughtering, like rams with male goats. Oh, how Sheshach has been captured, the praise of all the earth be seized, how Babel has become a ruin amongst nations. The seas rise over Babel. She has been covered up with the roaring of its wave.
Her cities have become ruin, a dry land and a desert, a land where no one dwells, neither does son of man pass by it. And I shall punish Baal in Babel, and I shall make him spew out what he has swallowed, and nations shall no longer stream to him. Even the wall of Babel shall fall. Come out of her midst, my people, and let everyone deliver his being from the burning displeasure of Yahweh. And lest your heart grow faint, and you fear the report heard in the land, for a report shall come 1 year, and after that in another year, and a year a report shall come, and violence in the land, ruler against ruler. Therefore, see, the days are coming that I shall bring punishment on the carved images of Babel, and all her land shall be put to shame, and all her slain fall in her midst, and the heavens and the earth and all that is in them shall shout for joy over Babel, for the ravagers shall come to her from the north, declares Yahweh. As Babel is to fall for the slain of Israel, so for the Babel the slain of all the earth shall fall. You who have escaped the sword, go away. Do not stand still. Remember Yahweh from afar, and let Jerusalem come to your heart. We are ashamed because we have heard reproach. Shame has covered our faces, for strangers have come into the set apart places of the house of Yahweh. Therefore, see, the days are coming, declares Yahweh, that I shall bring punishment on her carved images, while the wounded groan throughout all her land. Though Babel should mount up to the heavens, and though she should make the height of her strength inaccessible, ravagers shall come to her from me, declares Yahweh. Listen, a cry from Babel, and great destruction from the land of the Kasdim, because Yahweh is ravaging Babel, and shall silence her loud voice, and her waves shall roar like great waters. The noise of their voice shall resound, because the ravager shall come against her, against Babel, and her mighty men shall be captured. Every one of their bows shall be broken, for Yahweh is the El of recompense. He shall certainly repay, and I shall make her rulers drunk, and her wise men her governors, and her deputies and her mighty men, and they shall sleep a lasting sleep, and not awake, declares the sovereign, whose name is Yahweh of hosts. Thus said Yahweh of hosts, the broad walls of Babel are completely demolished, and her high gates are burned with fire, and people labor in vain, and the nations weary themselves for fire. The word that Yirmeyahu the prophet commanded Sariah, son of Neriah, son of Mahashiah, when he went with Sidkiyahu, the sovereign of Yehuda, to Babel in the 4th year of his reign, and Sariah was a quartermaster. So Yirmeyahu wrote in a book all the evil that would come upon Babel, all these words which have been written concerning Babel. And Yirmeyahu said to Sariah, when you come to Babel and see it, and read all these words, then you shall say, O Yahweh, you have spoken concerning this place to cut it off, so that none shall dwell in it, neither man nor beast, for it is a ruin forever. And it shall be, when you have ended reading this book, that you shall tie a stone to it, and throw it into the midst of the Euphrates, and shall say, so does Babel sink and not rise from the evil that I am bringing upon her? And they shall weary themselves. Thus far are the words of Yirmeyahu.
That's crazy, guys. I just want you to understand. This is before, like, this is as they're getting, like, okay, when this guy, like, it's just like Taken, right? Like, they're gonna come get you, right? When they do you even like? You're in a battle. You don't even see how your city is gonna come out of it. This guy is telling you what's gonna happen after the battle, after your king go with and the king that's just winning, the guy that won. Oh man, we beat y'all. As he's so, hooray, we won. It's like, okay, read this. This is how they're gonna get theirs. That I mm, I don't know how it brushed by me, but yeah, when he was prophesizing, he was prophesizing. Wow. Wow. And then to take that's like saying you just won the Super Bowl, then somebody gives you the trophy, and in the trophy, it's like, yeah, you're gonna get your tail beat next season. And this is how you're gonna get your tail. Like, I just want you guys to let that sink in. It's like, okay, I wrote this, right? It's not like he's just saying it. He's writing this down. I wrote this. All right, take this with you when you guys get beat. Don't worry about it. You're going just take this with you, and when you get there in front of them, you read it, and once you read it to them, you throw this away. Because maybe the adversary gonna look at it and try to figure it out and try to something, but like you throw this, and but this is gonna be also symbolic, like just like how once you read this, you throw this in the river. This is what they're gonna get. They're gonna drown. All praises due to the Most High. All praises due to Him. Whew, big. Wow. Well, another thing. I'm sorry. That's cool that you said a quartermaster in Yirmeyahu, 56th chapter, the verse, the 59 verse towards the end, and Sariah was a quartermaster. Like, always that jumped out at me because I'm a quartermaster. I was a quartermaster in the military. Like, it's the commander, then it's me. Like, it's everything that's here. All items here was my responsibility. And it's crazy how he even wrote about it in scripture. Like, that's mm.
Mm.
But yeah, Yahweh just gonna wipe them off the earth. And he said if they're survivors, hopefully they find their way back to me.
Like, wipe the whole, like, it's crazy. It's like, it's so crazy to wipe the, at some point, like, there was a Babylon, a Nebuchadnezzar, and then it's not even there. It's Turkey now. You know what I'm saying? It's Istanbul. It's not even the same people. I just want to let that sink. Okay, like for instance, America that you guys are in, all right? America. At one point, they were native. Were native. They wouldn't even probably call American. They would probably call something else. Then to have these corny Europeans, these little peons, come and just wipe you away. Take whatever remnant you have, make them slaves, change their names. They were probably like Iritar, Choctaw, Blackfoot, Cherokee. Now they're all just whatever didn't make a cut. You're just black. You're just black. You don't even have a history. You're just black. And I'm looking at it in real time. In the past, I was like, how is that possible? Now I'm like, yeah, I can see it possible. Like, think about it. God, there was China. I'm just saying historically, China wasn't China. It was a system of different kingdoms. The Qin dynasty, the Qin kingdom, the Su kingdom, the Wu. Somebody came through and crushed it. Oh, like, oh, we just gonna be China. I just want to let that sink in. England was a part of France. It was just like France. Yo, we just gonna send you up there. Australia was a penal colony. Africa probably wasn't even called Africa. They just wiped you out. Wow, the most, the most high. Like, you have to look at old maps to see where Babylon was. You have to look at old. I'm not even gonna go that far. You have to look at old maps to see Rome, the Roman. You have to look at. Oh, now it's Spain, it's Portugal, it's Italy. But there was a point where this was the whole Roman. You gotta look at an old map to be like, wow, that was a Roman Empire. Like I saw a map of Ethiopia. Ethiopia was so big. Like I'm sure the Ethiopians like, well, how have we fallen? It was so huge. Oh, in your lifetime, big, because big, this happened in like '94. There was Ethiopia had the whole they now they cut it. They in your lifetime, big, they made what's the thing? Eritrea. In your lifetime, big, they made Eritrea. Big, 96. In your lifetime, big, they made Ghana. Like whoever had it before was like, nah, we changing that. Nah, yeah, we're good. We're good. Uh-uh. Yo, yeah, the Most High. Oh, you guys want to talk all that trash? You guys, okay, okay, all right. And I keep going back to it, but like, for someone to tell you that you about to get your ass beat, excuse my friends, because you're bragging and you're boasting before you even have to fight, that you win. Oh, you're gonna win this fight, but you're gonna get beat because you're gonna be bragging and you're not gonna thank the Most High. And this, that to me, that's extraordinary. Like that's a prophet. That, I get why you're a major prophet. I get it. You see nation being changed. Like Mizraim is like, what do we do? Moab was like, what do we do? Like, we didn't do nothing. Yeah, you did. You led these people astray. It's because of like, and it's crazy because we dug up all the things that we was supposed to. You dug up an Ankh. You dug up Buddha. You dug up all these things. And I'm like, okay. There's even a cat. Like the cat that we all were having. That cat comes from somewhere. It's a deity. Okay, you dug all these up. Okay. I buried them, and you want to go look for them? Fine. You're gonna suffer the same fate they do. The same fate. Whew. I'm sorry, Shu. I didn't mean to take your thunder, sir. Please, sir. Please us
So
with your lyrical thesis.
like that one in or any really?
Wow. On to the next. Goodness. Two people have 11, one person 12. Mm. Wow.
Yirmeyahu was 21 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Yerushalayim. And his mother's name was Hamut Hamutal, the daughter of Yirmeyahu, excuse me, of Libnah. And he did evil in the eyes of Yahweh, according to all that Yehoiakim had done. For though the displeasure of Yahweh, this came to be against Yerushalayim and Yehuda, until he had cast them out from his presence. And Sidkiyahu rebelled against the sovereign of Babel. And it came to be in the 9th year of his reign, in the 10th new moon, on the 10th of the new moon, that Nebuchadrezzar, sovereign of Babel, and all his army came against Jerusalem and encamped against it. And they built a siege wall against it all around. And the city was under siege until the 11th year of sovereign Sidkiyahu. On the 9th of the 4th new moon, the scarcity of food was so severe in the city that there was no food for the people in the land. And the city wall was breached, and all the men of battle fled and went out of the city at night by way of the gate between the two walls, which was by the sovereign's garden, while the custom were near the city all around, and they went by way of the desert plain. But the army of the custom pursued the sovereign, and they overtook Sidkiyahu in the desert plains of Uriah, and whose entire army was scattered from. Then they captured the sovereign, brought him up to the sovereign of Babel by Riblah in the land of Hamath, and he pronounced judgments on him. And the sovereign of Babel slew the sons of Sidkiah before his eyes, and he slew all the heads of Yehuda and Riblah. And he put out the eyes of Sidkiyahu, and the sovereign of Babel bound him in bronze shackles, and took him to Babel, and put him in prison to the day of his death.
And on the 10th of the 5th new moon, which was the 19th year of the sovereign of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, the chief of the guard, who served the sovereign of Babylon, came to Jerusalem, and he burned the house of Yahweh, and the sovereign's house, and all the houses of Jerusalem, and all the houses of the great men. He burned them with fire. And all the army of the Kasdim who were with the chief of the guard broke down all the wards of Jerusalem all around. And Nebuchadnezzar, chief of the guard, exiled some of the poor people and the rest of the people who were left in the city, and the defectors who have gone over to the sovereign of Babel, and the rest of the craftsmen. But Neb, Nebuzaradan, chief of the guard, left some of the poor of the land as vine dressers and farmers. And the Kasdim broke the bronze column that were in the house of Yahweh, and the stands and the bronze seas that was in the house of Yahweh. and brought all their bronze to Babel. They took away the pots and the shovels and the shuffers and the bowls and the ladles and all the bronze utensils which they have served. I still got some?
Better so you read to 22.
Yes, sir. And the basin and the fire holders and the bowls and the pots and the lampstands, the ladles and the cups, whatever was of solid gold, whatever was of solid silver, and the chief of the guard took the two columns, one seat, the 12 bronze bulls which were under it, and the stands which the sovereign Shalomo had made, Salomo had made at the house for the house of Yahweh. The bronze and all the vessels were beyond the weighing. And as for the columns, the height of one column was 18 cubits, and the circumference was 12 cubits, and the thickness was 4 fingers hollow, and the capital bronze was on it, and the height of one capital was 5 cubits, with a network and pomegranate all around the capital, all of bronze. And the second column with the pomegranates was the same.
And there were 96 pomegranates on the sides. All the pomegranates on the network were 100 all around. And the chief of the guard took Sariah, the chief priest, and Sephaniah, the second priest, and the three doorkeepers. And from the city he took one eunuch who was in charge of the men of battle, and 7 men who saw the sovereign's face, who were found in the city, and the scribe of the commander of the army who mustered the people of the land, and 60 men of the people of the land who were found in the city. And Nebuzaradan, chief of the guard, took these and brought them to the sovereign of Babel at Riblah. And the sovereign of Babel struck them and put them to death at Riblah, in the land of Hamath. Thus Yehuda was exiled from its own land. These are the people whom Nebuchadrezzar exiled in the 7th year, 3,023 Yehudim. In the 18th year of Nebuchadrezzar, he exiled from Jerusalem 832 beings. In the 23rd year of Nebuchadrezzar, Nebuzaradan, chief of the guard, exiled of the Yehudim 745 beings. All the beings were 4,600. And it came to be in the 37th year of the exile of Jehoiakim, sovereign of Yehuda, in the 12th new moon, on the 25th of the new moon, that Ewil Merodach, sovereign of Babel, in the first year of his reign, lifted up the head of Jehoiakim, sovereign of Yehuda, and brought him out of prison, and spoke kindly to him, and set his throne above those of the sovereigns who were with him in Babel. So he changed his prison garments, and he ate bread continually before the sovereign all the days of his life. And as for his allowance, there was a continual allowance given him by the sovereign of Babel, a portion for each day until the day of his death, all the days of his life.
You guys want to play around, huh? This guy, I can't get over that. Last thing he saw was his son's dying. That's the last thing he saw. Then he takes out his eyes. Goodness, we can do some harm to each other. Big.
I think in the 37th year, they had some change in their heart.
Which verse you talking about? I'm sorry, sir. Which chapter and verse?
verse 31. He said he took the Yehoiakim, sovereign of Yehuda, and brought him out of prison. Spoke kindly to him, and he ruled over Babel. Like the sovereign of Babel made him rule over Babel.
Get this image up so that way I had the image too. Okay, so you see, Time of the Kings, Time of the Kings. This is a different king, and that's a different sovereign. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
Hold on, make sure I got it. This
31
is
through 34.
okay. So they got. Let me go back a little bit. Sorry, I keep this map up. Shock them, and then Jehoiakim. Okay. So as I'm getting it, how are you? I'm sorry. All right, so this was the last guy. Activity. Okay, this is the last guy. Okay, him, and then 33. Okay, so Jehoiakim. I don't pull up my other timeline. What happened to my timeline? Oh, okay, that's right. I have to image before. Always under pressure, you can never find it. And I guess because you're under pressure, right? I had it up too. Here we go, boom. All right. Somebody took the time to make these things. All right, so Joktan. Okay, so Joktan came before Jehoiakim, the guy that they took his eyes out. Exile in this 37 year in exile, Joktan. Okay, yeah, so they went backwards a little bit. So he got exiled too? Ooh, what just happened? I gotta make sense of this, guys. So as I'm saying, I was saying, Joktan, the one that they released the king of Judah from prison, he came before the one that got his eyes poked. So under under the ones that got his eye poked out, that's when the destruction happened. So in the 37th year in exile, got it. Okay, okay. So he got to live okay. He got to be all right. In the 23rd year of it came to be in the 37th year in exile of Jehoiakim. Okay, so they're just giving us a timeline here. So Ewu Modoc, sovereign of Babel, came before Nebuchadnezzar. I'm about to share this with you guys too. Hold on. That way we can all look at this together. What is this? This is the only way I could understand this. Oh. Oh, he was already got it. I get it now. He was already exiled 37 years of the exile. So Jehoiakim was already in there. Yeah, that gotta make sense. Yeah. I gotta soak that one in, guys, because I don't want to mislead you guys. But I sent you guys the timeline so you guys can see. And the blue, if you're looking at the, it's talking about the kings of Yehuda.
Mm.
And if you look at, if you got it open, 625 to, yeah, all this happening around the same time. Goodness gracious. That must have been scary. Yeah. So he's already exiled while this is happening, and while he's exiled, Nebuchadnezzar falls. But then, let's see, who's this evil black guy? Who's this guy in history?